Welcome to My on Mondays, an explorative approach to the possessive my through narratives, art, and sound. Each Monday brings a new creation and unique perspective. My on Mondays is brought to you by MING Studios, a contemporary art space and international artist residency program dedicated to the exhibition, experience, and exploration of arts and culture. Along with exhibiting artists from around the world, MING also serves the community by hosting innovative programs including performances, workshops, screenings, readings, artist talks, and other cultural activities. For more information, or if you'd like to participate in My on Mondays, you can visit our website at mingstudios.org. Hello and welcome to My on Mondays. It can be said that some lives, by all accounts, are tragic. So it might be said of the great poet Charlotte Mary Mew, one of the few shining gems of her life being only her poetry itself. Born in 1869 in London, Charlotte was one of 7 children, 3 of whom died in childhood, and 2 others who suffered mental illness and were committed to asylums. This only left her sister Anne, with whom Charlotte was very close, and the 2 sisters early on made a pact to never marry, partly for fear of passing mental illness on to their children, but also likely due to Charlotte being gay. In her lifetime, she suffered repeated, humiliating rejection, and this, along with her childhood experience of death, mental illness, and poverty, greatly influenced her poetic work. Mew was highly praised by her literary fellows, which included such great writers as Ezra Pound, Thomas Hardy, and Virginia Woolf, who herself called Mew the greatest living poetess. But despite her literary success, she and her sister continued to live in poverty. In 1926, Charlotte's sister Anne was diagnosed with cancer and died the following year. After that, Charlotte fell into despair and decline, entering a nursing home in 1928 when she became delusional. She committed suicide later the same year. The poems we're sharing with you today are 2 shining examples of the austere and haunting beauty of her work. The titles are Trees Are Down and June 1915. The trees are down. They are cutting down the great plane trees at the end of the gardens. For days there has been the grate of the saw, the swish of the branches as they fall, the crash of the trunks, the rustle of trodden leaves, with the whoops and woes, the loud common talk, the loud common laughs of the men above it all. I remember one evening of a long past spring, turning in at a gate, getting out of a cart and finding a large dead rat in the mud of the drive. I remember thinking, alive or dead, a rat was a God-forsaken thing, but at least in May, that even a rat should be alive. The week's work here is as good as done. There is just one bough on the roped bowl in the fine gray rain, green and high and lonely against the sky. Down now. And but for that, if an old dead rat did once for a moment unmake the spring, I might never have thought of him again. It is not for a moment the spring is unmade today. These were great trees. It was in them from root to stem. When the men with the whoops and the woes have carted the whole of the whispering loveliness away, half the spring, for me, will have gone with them. It is going now, and my heart has been struck with the hearts of the plains. Half my life it has beat with these in the sun, in the rains, in the March wind, the May breeze, in the great gales that came over to them across the roofs from the great seas. There was only a quiet rain when they were dying. They must have heard the sparrows flying and the small creeping creatures in the earth where they were lying, but I all day heard an angel crying, "Hurt not the trees." June 1915. Who thinks of June's first rose today? Only some child, perhaps, with shining eyes, and rough brown hair will reach it down. In a green, sunny lane, to us almost as far away as are the fearless stars from these veiled lamps of town. What's little June to a great broken world, with eyes gone dim from too much looking on the face of grief, the face of dread? Or what's the broken world to June and him, of the small eager hand, the shining eyes, the rough bright head?
Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Monday. Tune in.